So many good topics to be talking about, and very happy to be joined by Tash McGill. Now, behind the scenes, there's a new thing happening with the New Look Rhema mornings show, or the day show, I think is the official title. I've caught up with the rest of the world, and I'm Zooming everything now. So not only do I get to talk to some great people, I get to see them as well. Tash McGill, it is so nice to see you again. Thanks for being on the program today.
Always a joy, Andrew, and it's great to see you as well. And look, I feel that I've clearly underdressed for the day, so I'll see if I can lift my style game for next week.
I've got a reputation for overdressing, but also for me, the outfit that I wear, it's kind of like overalls. I don't need to make a fashion decision first thing in the morning. I just wear the thing, pick a different floral shirt, and I'm done. However, not talking fashion advice on the show today. I suppose in your role as the transformationist, talking about the difference between short-term and long-term goals, how we get the timing right, which goes in which category, how we even start that process of planning for change.
So one of the things that we often get stuck on when we come to thinking about either a change that we want to make or a change that we have to make is we get stuck in the bubble of searching for the perfect time.
Yeah.
We hear those adages, the time is right. When the time's right, it'll happen. Just wait till what's the perfect timing? What's just doesn't feel like it's quite right yet. And one of the things that we can often get stuck on is this idea that there will be a perfect time, that there will be a moment in which the stars align, the pieces are all lined up, and you can saunter into that kind of change or that kind of decision, or potentially it's a new idea, a new product, a new adventure that you want to have. And one of the difficulties is, and I want to kind of dive into the myth here, is that some of what drives that thinking is the hope that if we do things at the right time, they'll be easier or they'll be more successful. So it's a way of avoiding failure.
And certainly, and for somebody who's got procrastination as a ministry gift, and also in terms of psychological profiling, it's pretty high up there. This can be a great thing because you go, I'm just not feeling it. Maybe the timing's not right. That's just putting off stuff that you should be doing already in some ways, isn't it?
Well, we don't sit around waiting for the perfect time when it comes to taking a bathroom break, do we?
Yeah. I mean, there's only so much wiggle room that you've got there, if you pardon the phrase. There is, though, I mean, you mentioned that. There's also the tyranny of the urgent. Things that have to be done now actually get in the way of things which may be more important in the medium and the long term, right?
Yes, and so that's why this kind of idea of short-term, medium-term, long-term, how do we approach these things, how do we attack them, becomes really important. Because the trouble is that if you wait for the perfect timing to make something happen, you will often end up rushing to the last minute to get something ready. And what I mean by that, and I'll use the example of creating a new product as a way of talking about this, because that's quite objective, right? So imagine you see a need in the market and you think, I could provide a solution to that. Maybe it's through technology or through creating a new tool or a new physical product. But you think to yourself, right, I could provide a solution for that. So you go out to market, you make your drawings, you come up with your pitch plan, and a bunch of people tell you, but I'm just quite happy with the way things are right now. And it would be easy to sit back and go, well, in that case, I'm not going to do anything with it because the timing's not right.
Mm-hmm.
The timing's not right. But eventually, context will change. Technology changes, the way that people do business all the time changes. And eventually, the moment will come where people actually do want your product or they do want your service. And as they go searching for it, when they are product ready, the question is, will you be there? That's a really great way of thinking about at the time comes when you need to have the tools or the change already completed that you are looking to do. When the time comes that you actually need it, will you be ready?
You got to get you got to get your timelines in place, because if the right time is 6 months from now, you should have already started working on making sure that you are ready to make the most of that opportunity when it turns up, right?
Mm-hmm. And the other component with that to consider is that sometimes the opportunity that we see is not the only opportunity that's actually around the corner. So what we see in the first instance, and I like to describe it as always having one eye on the short term, one eye on the what's happening right here. Like so. And then one eye on the far distance, peering out into the future, because somewhere in that space, we actually have the opportunity to see things differently, for new perspectives to emerge. And hopefully that should be enough to actually keep us moving towards positive change and positive transformation.
Yeah.
The idea that even if the need is not urgent or imperative right now, the key is to be ready when you do need those tools, when you do need that robustness, right? The time to talk to your partner or your best mate about the way they pack the back of the car before you go on a 6-week road trip. The time to talk to them about that is not when you're already mad about it, as you've been trying to pack and unpack the car for 2.5 hours before you go away.
That's when it feels like it's the right time, though, doesn't it? That's when you got that energy and motivation. But no, I get your point. I mean, I suppose looking at it from the corporate point of view, in some ways it's easier because you've got different teams for different timelines, right? You've got this team, this project team that's working you've got the board that are taking care of governance and big picture stuff, and you've got the management people, and you've got different things and different projects, different timelines. You've got all that sort of structure and support, but often what we're talking about is it's just us. It's just us. Particularly for a small business owner, we are the team.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got to do the short term, the long term, the logistics. We've got to be the visionary and the person that puts it all together and does the marketing. That's all on us in a small business or even a personal situation, right?
Yeah, I have. So I've got kind of like a rule of 4 things to consider as a business owner, but also in life. It's also a good way of just managing your own self and your own affairs. And the first is when the first thing you need to do in the morning is revenue management. Right.
Yep.
Take care of actually what you've got in your hand, whether it's your bank account or the bills or whatever else.
Yep.
Revenue management. Take care of what's in your hand. Then revenue generation,
mm-hmm.
right? Right. What are the new things? What are the new things that are coming your way? The new things to take care of. Then it's operational management.
Yep.
How am I running in my day-to-day life? Where can I make efficiencies? Where can I make improvements? And then the fourth thing to consider always is opportunity cost. We often think about opportunity cost way down the track.
Yep.
But the question with opportunity cost is what does it cost me? What do I potentially lose out on, or what do I miss if I don't take this opportunity now? Right? That's the thing.
And often we're only finding this out in hindsight, which, I mean, honestly, is a little bit too late, although hopefully we're learning the lessons and can apply those to the next round, where we're not just dealing with the urgent, we're not just dealing with what is immediately in front of us, but we've got a medium and a long-term strategy to help us get where we need to go at the right time for that particular idea. Is that where we're going with this one?
Yeah. Short-term versus long-term vision. In the short term, think about what is the opportunity cost that you might be passing up to be ready once that long-term moment and opportunity arrives.
No, very good. And hey, you're very much walking the talk in this regard. I know, very busy juggling the various projects and businesses that you're involved with. So, hey, really appreciate your time and value your insights in this important area. Tash, thanks so much for joining us again.
Cheers.